Hi, everyone. Okay, so we are going to do a workout that's very similar to what we would do in a bump and me class if we were live face-to-face in an exercise class. So I'm going to do a mixture of arm and leg and core and pelvic floor and low impact cardio and all the stuff that you'd expect from a FitRight class. This class outline has a fitball. I'm sitting on a fitball, a 65 centimeter one. I will try and remember to give options for a chair if you don't have a ball at home. And I've also got a theraband, which is green strength, but you can use hand weights or you can use a theraband that's different strength if you'd like. So theraband, ball, nothing else. And if you don't have either of those, you can swap it out. We're going to start with some stretches sitting on the ball. So if you don't have a ball, can you grab yourself a chair so that you can sit on the chair instead? Okay, so I'm doing this as though it was a pregnancy class. I'm very aware though that some of you who might be watching this, start with some circles around, are not pregnant. It's still very appropriate for non-pregnancy as well. And in fact, it's quite similar to the postnatal outline that I've done recently that's similar to week 1 of Baby and Me. It's very similar again. So other way, circling around on the fitball. If you're on a chair, it's a little bit more awkward. Still doable. Just getting rid of all the tension in your lower back. Okay, can you separate your feet wider than the ball and put your right elbow down on your right knee and then lift the left one over. Shoulders away from ears. Let's get a lovely stretch over and then pull back up. And then the other way. Over. Big breath in and back. Let's do another 3 each way and we'll do it as a breathing exercise as well. So inhale to go over. Shoulders away from ears and exhale coming back. Just be aware of not breathing up into your shoulders here. Inhale, breathe down into here. Stretch out those muscles between the ribs. Exhale back. Inhale it over. And exhale it back. And big breath in. Shoulders away from ears. Can you reach even further on a diagonal? And back. And inhale over. And back. Okay, let's bring our feet a bit closer together. We're going to twist around to the right. Look over your right shoulder. Use your hands to help push you a bit further around and then back to the center, up tall, and the other way. All the way around, looking over the back shoulder and back up to the center again. I come a little bit closer. And again, around and back to the center and around and back to the center. Do a couple more each way. If you are pregnant and you're watching this, these are really lovely stretches, these movement mobility stretches. They're really lovely ways of regularly getting movement through all the different levels of your spine and all the different directions of movement that your spine can do, one or the other way. Because we do tend to get stiff in our spine during pregnancy. Open up and exhale. Inhale to open and exhale to close, thumbs down. Our posture just changes so rapidly and we are unable to easily move through range as much as we normally would in our spine. So consciously and actively taking your back through all these different movements on a regular basis during pregnancy is a really good way of helping to stop aches and pains at night time when you're lying in bed. It's a really good way to prevent muscle strains when you're doing movements during the day as well. Let's take fingertips down onto the ball or the chair if you're sitting on a chair, ear to one shoulder, ear to the other shoulder. And one more of those each way. Stretch out these muscles in your neck. This time look down at your shoulder a little bit more to get the ones at the back. And back to the center and the other way. Okay, big shoulder rolls. All right, let's do a combined movement now, where we separate our knees a little bit further, and we're going to lift our arms up to the ceiling like this. Move your little fingers so they're facing forward, reach up, but set your shoulder blades down. Okay. From there, we're going to turn to the left and bring our right arm forward, and then bring back up to the center. And the other way. See if you can keep your knees where they are. This is a real challenge in pregnancy, to see if you can move like this through your rib cage and the middle of your spine, and back up, and again. And back up, one more each way. And back up, and back the other way. Can you look right over the right shoulder? And back up. Now, from there, I'd like you to take the right one down in front again and the left one back. Can you twist around so that it's right back? And then turn your palms down, reach towards the front, and then take that arm down on the inside of the right leg and look up towards the left hand. Shoulders away from ears. Use the inside of this, the arm on the inside of this leg to push you around and open your chest. Hopefully, even if you're more pregnant, there's enough space, the way that I've set this up, for you to really twist around and get into those potentially stiff muscles and joints in your upper and middle back. On an exhale, can you come back up and bring the right arm forward? Lift arms up to the ceiling. Shoulders are down, and then let's go the other way. Left arm forward, look to the right arm, and then take the palms down, reach to the front and down, look up towards the left arm, using the arm on the inside of your thigh, inside of your knee, to push up and around. Big breaths. On an exhale, pulling yourself up to the ceiling with both arms, and then down in front. Okay, going around with your hips again, just to loosen everything up in that direction and the other direction. Okay, all right, let's do some pelvic floor work now. Okay, I'd like you to just sit comfortably on the chair or the ball. Put one hand on your lower belly, one hand on your upper belly. Lean forward and relax your belly into your hands. Okay, so what we're going to do is some awareness exercises for your pelvic floor. So just coordination with your breathing and becoming aware of what it feels like to use your pelvic floor in a way, in a complementary way to your diaphragm, which is your breathing muscle. So first of all, focus on your breath. Inhale. Can you feel your hands expand outwards on the inhale? Exhale. Relax. So you can do another breath like that, where you stop your shoulders from moving and take the air further down so that you feel it in your hand here. Inhale. And exhale, relax. Now, challenge. Can you lift your pelvic floor as you exhale this time? So inhale, prepare. Now, as you exhale, bring your pelvic floor up with it. And inhale, relax it back down. And just take a break. Try that again. We're trying to move with the diaphragm. So as you inhale, the diaphragm should go down. And as you exhale, the diaphragm should come up to get the air to go out, and the pelvic floor should be helped to pull up with it. Okay? Inhale, prepare, relax. Exhale, scooping up pelvic floor. Pulling it up with the diaphragm. And relax. Inhale, prepare. And exhale, scooping up. And inhale, relax. And exhale, scooping up. And inhale, relax. If you can coordinate this, you're doing a really good job. And exhale up. And then relax everything off. Take a couple of breaths, and then what we're going to do is hold on for longer, so work on our endurance a little bit as well. Some people will be able to hold their pelvic floor for 10, 20 seconds, no worries, and other people will really struggle as soon as they get past that 2 or 3 second mark, maybe when they have to try and breathe at the same time. So that's your challenge. Can you lift up your pelvic floor and hold it there while you continue to breathe and get some endurance in the muscle? Ready? So we'll start on the inhale again. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, scooping up pelvic floor. Hold it there while you breathe. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let it go and relax. Now, just while we wait we'll do 2 more while we give it a rest. I would like you to have a think in your head. Do you think that it's correct? It's better to lift your pelvic floor on the exhale or the inhale, or no breath? Which one's right? Which one's wrong? Is there a right way? Is there a wrong way? Okay, we'll talk about that in a sec. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, scooping up. Hold it there while you breathe. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can you keep holding? Gently holding it on. 8, and let go. See, can you feel that equal and opposite let go? And that's another thing I want you to be thinking if you're watching this and you're pregnant especially. Why is the let go so important? Why are we focusing on that so much? Inhale, prepare. Exhale, scoop up pelvic floor. Lower tummy drawing in under that lower hand here. Hold. Gently hold the pelvic floor on. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can you feel it let go? Equal and opposite let go. Okay, circling around. We'll come back to the answers to those questions in a sec, if I remember what they were. Okay, hands on hips. It's been a long day. All right, so now we're going to add in, can you have your band nearby? We're going to do one more stability pelvic floor exercise, and then we're going to move on to doing some arm work. So for this part, we're going to practice lifting one leg at the same time as doing our pelvic floor. I'll just move that down a little bit. All right, ready? Engage pelvic floor, lower tummy drawn in. Go up on the toe on one side. Okay, hold the pelvic floor and lower tummy. Leg going out. Hold, pelvic floor on. Bring it back. Release. And again, scooping up. Other side. Can you balance? A bad example. Can you balance while you've got your pelvic floor on? This is multitasking. Back in and let it go. Let's do one more each side like that. Engage pelvic floor, lower tummy drawing in. Lift up. Lengthen if you can. Hold. Re-engage the pelvic floor if you need. Bring it back and let it go. And again, scoop up pelvic floor, lower tummy in, other side. Kick it out if you can. Bring it back. And can you feel the let go at the end? All right, so there we've done awareness and activation with your breath. The pelvic floor, we've done endurance, and we've done functional activation, multitasking as well. So those are 3 really important areas of pelvic floor work that you've just had a practice of. And if any of them felt difficult, that should be your focus for when you do it at other times of the day. So let's put the band around behind us like this, or if you've got hand weights, hold them in your hands. We're going to go out like this with the band and back in. Push out and back in. Keep going. Do about 10 or so. Just remember, if you are in the later stages of pregnancy, you might have more of a tendency to kind of push out and lean back like this. Can you try and just keep your rib cage relatively relaxed? Feel like someone's pulling you up from the top of your head towards the ceiling. Keep going. And if this is feeling too easy, hold it closer to the hold the band closer to your body so that there's more resistance as you push away. I want you to feel like by the time you get to 10 or 12, this is quite challenging. 2 more. Okay, hold it out there. Now we're going to go back and open and close. 1, 2. Can you keep your elbows straight and really reach away from you each time? 4. This little sequence, I will be surprised if you don't feel some burning in your shoulder blades and your upper arms by the end of this. 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more. Push out long arms. Okay, hold it open, backward circles. See if you can do that without moving on the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, chin tucked in, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let it go. Hold it in your left hand. Put it under your right foot and separate your legs. Put your right elbow down on your knee. Hold it down near your foot. The band down near your foot. Pull it up. Make sure you've got it firmly under your foot. Pull up. Shoulders away from ears. Pull and down. Keep going. Now that first one we did was a pushing exercise going forward. But these ones are all, the rest of them in this little sequence now, are all focusing on pulling and opening. Now you can tell, I'm sure you can tell when you're pregnant, your boobs start to get bigger and your posture often starts to come forward from the top of your chest. We do, not in everybody, but in a lot of people we see that. So trying to counteract that with good strengthening exercises for the shoulder blades, and definitely once you have the baby and when you've got a young child to look after, children, a lot of stuff is in that forward lean position. So strengthening the muscles at the back of the chest like this with pulling exercises like this is really, really worthwhile. Okay, take that out from under there. I don't know if I said it, I don't think I said it before, but just be very aware, grab it at the back there, so it's like this, that if you're starting to feel any of these in your neck, give it a rest. You should not feel it in your neck. Top arm going up first, go. 1, and the bottom arm stays near your hip. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bottom arm, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can either stop there or you can do both together if you feel you can. Go. 1, open chest. 2, 3. Really get your arms straight each time. 4. So you can keep your wrists really strong and straight. 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more for good luck. 9, 10. Okay, give that a rest. Shake it all out. All right, while we're giving it a rest, let's do some leg work. We're going to walk ourselves out. So just before I show you this, if you don't have a ball, you can do these bridging exercises like this down on the floor. And when we lift our bottom on the ball, you can lift your bottom here and then drop down. And when we do arm exercise on the ball, you'll just do them sitting cross-legged like this. Okay? But if you've got a ball, let's sit at the back of our mat. We've got some room in front of us. Take the band with us and walk yourself out to here. Okay, so put the band over your hips. Just put your hands on your hips to start with. Head rested in the middle of the ball. You should be looking up at the ceiling. Your rib cage should be rested on the ball, but your bottom should be off the ball. Drop your bottom down towards the ground and then tuck it up and back like that. Drop, tuck, drop, tuck. So if you're on the ground, you're doing this with your hands on the floor and lifting your bottom up. Harder option, if you're here with me on the ball, you can use the band as resistance. This is a really good leg strength exercise. And if you're pregnant, there is a reason I'm not getting you to do bridges from the ground. If you're in the early stages of pregnancy, that's fine. But have a think about it. Does anybody know why we shouldn't be doing bridging from the ground in pregnancy? You can do 3 more of these. We'll talk about that in a sec too. Gosh, that's 3 things. 3 things we're supposed to talk about. Okay, hold it up there on the next one. Lift, hold, arms to the ceiling, or if you're sitting cross-legged on the floor, let's pull open with the band and then up. We're just keeping our bottom slightly below our rib cage. 2, pull, push 3, pull, push 4, pull, push 5, pull, push 6, pull, push 7, pull, push 8, 9, 10. Okay, back to your hips. 10 more of these. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I hope you're feeling it in your glutes, maybe your thighs, not your lower back. If you're feeling anything in your back, you go down to the floor, give it a rest. Don't push through that. Arms up. This time, we're going to bring them back down to our thighs, pull apart so that there's tension in between the band and the thighs. So right here, I'm working quite hard to pull apart. Overhead, back, let the tension go. Pull apart, overhead, shoulders away from ears. That's 2. And let go. We're doing 8. 3, overhead, keep the tension, let go. 4, overhead, back, let go. 6, overhead, keep your bottom tucked up but just below your rib cage. 2 more. And last one. Okay, and drop your bottom to the ground. All right, you can push the ball away if you've got a ball. We're going to do the other set of arm exercises here now on our knees. If this doesn't feel comfortable for any reason, by all means, sit again, that's fine. Let's go here though, going forward. For 8 or 10, I think we did. 4. Again, just making sure that you're not leaning back like this, or the really typical one, the slouch. Up tall, bottom tucked slightly under, rib cage forward maybe even, and head forward of where you think a lot of people end up here. 2 more. 1, 2, hold it there, open and close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Remember I said if you're feeling it in your neck, don't persist. That's probably a sign of fatigue in your shoulder blade muscles. So you do 2 more, really pull back through your shoulder blades, and you can either finish there or hold it there and do backward circles if you really want a good shoulder blade workout. 3, 4, 5, are your elbows straight? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, check it out. All right. We're going to bring our left foot up, and do the right elbow. We did the left one when we were sitting on the ball. So we're going to put the band under our left foot, rest our left elbow down. Go back so you can see me. And then we're going to pull the right arm up. 1 and down. 2, again, really working on those muscles at the back of our shoulder blades. 3, 4, 5, 6, don't let yourself feel this in your neck. 7, also don't let yourself bend your wrist like this if you're doing that, if the band's not taut enough, hold it closer. 2 more. Lead with your elbow, drop your shoulder away from your ear. Okay, swap that so that it's down. Let's put our right leg up just to even it up a bit, and we'll put this with our right hand down our back and grab the left hand at the bottom. Okay, so we're going top arm first. Go 1, 2, 3, If your pelvis or your knees or anything don't like being up on one leg like this, just go back to double legs. 3 more. 1, 2, can you get it straight each time? 3, bottom arm now, go. 1, 2, that top hand stays near your ear. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, both together if you can, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you can do this. 8, and stop. Okay, we're going to sit down now. You'll be happy to hear. Put your right leg out. Change this down. Right leg out. Let's do some stretches. Okay. So, if your heart rate got up a bit, then just take a couple of breaths. Lower your heart rate, and at the same time, let's reach over towards our right foot. We're going to go over and bring the left hand across as much as your belly will allow, to get a bit of a stretch through this side of our spine as well as our hamstring. And then we're going to go around and twist and look over the left shoulder. So again, up and over, reach that left arm across, and then coming up and twisting around. And back and reaching over. Okay, so while we do this, and we'll do this on the other side too, let's go back to what we were talking about with the pelvic floor. Okay, so hopefully you had a chance to think, what do you think is right? Doing it on the breath out, lifting the pelvic floor, doing it on the breath in, or doing it with no breath at all? The answer is that there's no wrong way of doing it. It's just that there is one of those ways is a bit more functional for a lot of things, and that's doing it on the breath out. Because a lot of things that we require the pelvic floor to kick in for in response to pressure is on the exhale, coughing, sneezing. Let's swap to the other leg. So we bring the right arm over for a stretch. Oh, tight on the side. And around, look over the back shoulder. And again. So a lot of the things that we need it for are on the exhale, and yet as a women's health physio testing people's pelvic floor, guess what? The position, the breath that a lot of people can't coordinate is the exhale. I don't know if you felt that, but you would not be alone if you tried to do your pelvic floor and you were only able to do it on an inhale like that. That's not unusual. That's quite common. But it's something that, although it's not wrong to do it that way, it's important to also be able to do it the other way. And often I get people to pause their breath and do their pelvic floor. That's not wrong either. And sometimes that just takes a little bit of the coordination needs away and gets a better quality pelvic floor contraction if you just like pause your breath, lift your pelvic floor, and then keep going. So there's no wrong way is the answer. Can you bring that left leg that you just had out, can you bring it in front and lean forward? Walk your fingers forward and walk your fingers back. And walk your fingers forward and walk your fingers back. Just a bit of a dynamic stretch for the left hip. Couple more. The next thing that we were talking about was, why do you think it's so important for the pelvic floor to be able to relax well as lift well? Why is that especially important in pregnancy? Hopefully you got the gist of what I was going for there, is that if you want to have a vaginal birth, swap. So the other leg's in front now, and let's stretch out our hip here. By the way, this stretch is a really good one to do before bed if you're getting any glute or sciatic pain. It's a nice one to keep everything stretched and mobile in the hip, in the glutes. Yeah, if you're having a vaginal birth, it's just so important to have awareness of that muscle And be aware in pregnancy, find out if you're somebody who actually has a really tense, tight pelvic floor, because if you do, you may not be able to let go. Like, it might be that the muscle is very tight and the tissues are very tight when you go to give birth. So if you pick that up early in pregnancy, you can spend the pregnancy training yourself to let go of your pelvic floor on cue, feet together. And being aware of and also, I guess the other thing too is that sometimes pelvic floor exercises have got a bad rap. Let's come back up and then up and over in pregnancy. And some obstetricians, I've heard women tell me that some obstetricians have told them, don't do pelvic floor exercise in pregnancy. You don't want your pelvic floor to get tight and tense in preparation for labour. That is true, that you don't want to. Oh, okay. Someone says hi. I was just checking that wasn't somebody saying that they couldn't hear me. Yes, you don't want it to be that that you are unable to let go. So it's very important to do the lift and do the let go as well, pregnancy. And then lastly, and let's just do some stretches here while we're talking. So sticking your bottom out, looking up, and then tucking your bottom under. If it feels better to do it on your fists, that's fine too. So hopefully, do you remember that I said when we were doing the bridging on the ball, don't do bridging on the ground if you're pregnant? Hopefully some of you knew why that was. It's because of something called supine hypotension. And that the reason for that is that when you're in later stages of pregnancy, if you're lying flat on your back, the baby's weight puts a huge amount of weight down through really important blood vessels in your abdomen. Let's put the left hand in the center and reach the right one up to the ceiling, and then dive it under. So that lying flat on your back can actually decrease blood flow, not just to you, but also to the baby. So it's recommended not to do exercises lying flat on your back after about 18 or 20 weeks of pregnancy. It's a little bit controversial. Some people say different things. You can read my blog on the website about the evidence that's been done in that area, the research that's been done. Swap to the other arm and dive it under. But a really great way of not doing bridging, but still getting the benefits of using your glutes in a bilateral way, like both legs together, because doing single-legged glute work in pregnancy sometimes can be provocative for pelvic girdle pain. So a really nice way of doing it is like I showed you on the ball. Walking out, still getting the glutes working, but keeping the bottom lower than the rib cage, and therefore the weight of the baby off those really important blood vessels. Okay, let's now do another little bit of abs exercise. Okay, so here's we're going to do pelvic floor and lower tummy work, and we're going to add in opposite arm to leg. All right, so get a really good posture first. Push up away from the ground, chin tucked in, a little bit of a curve in your lower back, tummy relaxed. All right, so let's see if we can get the pelvic floor and lower tummy working with this movement again. So I'll say pause your breathing, engage pelvic floor, lower tummy in. Can you take one leg out behind you? If you can take the opposite arm, that's great. Hold. Is your pelvic floor still on gently? Bring it back in. Relax it off. If that didn't feel good in your pelvis, just do the arm. Engage pelvic floor, lower tummy in. Other arm and leg out. Hold. Pelvic floor still on, bring it back, and release. 2 more each side, focusing on the pelvic floor. Engage, take it out, opposite arm and leg. Hold, bring it back in, release. Engage, inhale, take them out, push away from the ground, bring it back in. Can you feel the let go out afterwards? 1 more each way, push away from the ground, chin tucked in. Let's go. Engage, take opposite arm and leg out, hold, bring it back, release. Engage, push away from the ground. Opposite arm and leg with grace and control. And back in. And relax. Little relax back in child pose. Now that sort of exercise is a really, really nice way of doing some abs work in pregnancy. You might have heard people say don't do abs work in pregnancy. There's no reason not to do abs work. What most people are saying is don't do the traditional abs work of sit-ups and planks and things once your abdominal muscles start to separate. But there's so many alternatives, and that's one of them. Here's another nice one to do in pregnancy. Put your left hand on the mat and turn so that your left leg is out and your right leg is out. You can do some weight on the right foot, reach the arm over, and then pull it back in and bring that knee up. Okay, this is quite hard, and there will be some pregnant women who this isn't possible for. You can drop that hip down and do it here instead. Right elbow to knee, reach. Right elbow to knee, reach. Should feel that you're using the tummy muscles a little bit to do this. Harder options, especially if you're earlier pregnant, or if you're watching this and you're not pregnant, this is a nice option. 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And back to 4 point. Other side, other leg out. Twist, reach, and go. 1, 2, 3. Remember, you can be down here. 4, 5. Reach. Push away from the ground with your hand or your elbow. 2 more. Good. And then come up into 2-point kneeling. Okay, so pelvic floor again for this one. Hands on your belly. Engage pelvic floor, lower tummy. Tuck your bottom under and lean back. Find out where your tipping point is, that if you went any further, your tummy might push out. So that might just be a little way back. Hold, come back up. Can you feel the let go? Engage again. Leaning back from your knees. Pulling in with the lower tummy. Pelvic floor on, come back. Now can you feel the let go? 3 more of those. Engage, pelvic floor, lower tummy. Lean back. Coming back up. Can you feel the let go? 2 more. Lifting up from underneath. Leaning back, feeling the lower tummy kick in. Coming back up. Releasing off. Engage. Lean back. Coming back up and let go. Okay, so let's have a little rest. What I'm going to do now, actually, I'm just going to grab my phone with the timer on it because we're going to do a little bit of cardio. I've got an app on my phone that times the cardio. So if you're doing this without being instructed like this, you might want to also find an app that can time you. This one's called WOD, W-O-D, workout of the day. So I'm just going to put, what did I say, 3 rounds with 4 movements in each one. So that's 12 rounds. On for 30 seconds, 10 off for 10 seconds. So this is about 8 minutes of cardio, okay? Then we're going to come back and do another round of the ab stuff we just did before we finish. But yeah, cardio work, we're going to get our heart rates up. Just remember, if you're doing this and you're pregnant, even if you're very early pregnancy, still holding a conversation for cardio work, okay? So let's start. Let me just show you what the movements are before we start the timer. So the first one is going to be similar to what we did down here before with this one, but it's faster. So before we were focusing on the pelvic floor. This one, no focus on pelvic floor so much. It's focusing on arm out, tap the knee, arm out, tap the knee. If you've got any pelvic girdle pain that hurts to do that, or it doesn't feel right, just do the hand to knee and back out again. Hand to knee and back out, okay? Then what we're going to do after that is come up into standing. So the second part is going from here up into standing, if you can. I'll move you back so you can see me lifting up to here. Still can't see me. Here and back down. So from here up. Can you do that? Have a go before I start the timer. Easier option is to use your hands to walk back and push yourself up, and then back down and back up, okay? And up. All right, third part is a little bit of sideways work, and back in and stepping out and back in. Squat, step back, squat the other way, step back, okay? And the fourth one is going to be a centered squat, but pushing up onto your toes, okay? So centered squat, pushing up like that, okay? And then we go back down on the floor and we do it again. We'll do the opposite arm to leg the second time. Ready? Remember, holding a conversation is important. Starting timer now. Put that on so that you can hear. So let's get down on the ground. First one, we'll do the left arm, right leg. Ready? Go, 30 seconds. You can go as fast or as slow as you need to, okay? Just focus on keeping your technique good. Harder option, if you can, if you're less pregnant and you don't have a belly in the way, is elbow to knee. Reach, elbow. Push away from the ground each time. Push away from the ground. Nearly there, 3 more seconds. Rest for 10 seconds, but then we're going to get up into standing and back down again, okay? Getting ready, set,
let's go.
Go. Remember, you can use your hands to help you up and walk yourself back out to 4 point. Or you can go straight up, down, hands down, push back, no hands, up, down. It's not easy, this one, but it is a very functional movement. You'll thank me later when you have to do this with a baby in your arms, getting up and down off the floor. You'll be thankful that you trained your legs for it. Coming up into standing. Next one is the side squat. Go to the right first. Let's go. Step out, up, step out. If this does not feel good on your pelvis or your pelvic floor or anything, just try some centered narrow squats and see if that feels better. But otherwise, alternating the way you step out. Using the glutes in a sideways direction like this is really functional and a really good way to get strong through the glutes. Rest 10 seconds. Remember, you should still be able to hold a conversation. This is a centered squat with a calf raise. Ready?
Let's go.
Push up. Lift up. Reach to the ceiling, get down low. Reach, low. Up on toes, down. Keep going 10 seconds. And then that will be 1/3 of the way through the little cardio sequence. All FitRight classes pretty much have a cardio sequence like this, isn't it? My aim beat, let's go back down on the floor. Getting ready, this time it's the right arm, left leg.
Let's go.
I hope I've got that right. I'm doing the opposite. If not, you do the other way. Yes, I really want to show in FitRight classes that low impact doesn't have to be low intensity. And in pregnancy, moderate intensity is what's recommended to do regularly. 30 minutes on 5 days of the week of something getting your heart rate up. And that can be in little bite-sized pieces. Rest. Getting ready to get up and down. Moderate intensity is where you could still hold a conversation, but you're a bit breathless.
Let's go.
If you weren't pregnant, it can be, the recommendation is moderate or high intensity. If you've got a bigger belly for this, just take your knees out to the side more and do less. But yes, the power that's needed to get from there up is so important. Might help if you exhale on the hard bit here.
Rest.
Rest. Getting ready to go out to the side.
Let's go.
Let's go. So see if you can compute some of these movements to memory. If you have a chance to do 5 or 10 minutes of something that gets your heart rate up here and there. These are some ideas. There's so many more where this came from. But here are some ideas, especially for those of you who like cardio exercise but are used to kind of the burpees, star jumps, those sort of exercises as the way of getting your heart rate up. There are other options.
Let's go.
Squat, reach. Elbows to knees, reach. Harder option, get lower. Easier option, just a little range. But go up on your toes if you can. 10 more seconds, and that's 2 of the 3 rounds done.
Rest.
Rest, okay. Going back down onto hands and knees this time because it's an odd number of rounds. We're going to do half with one arm, half with the other arm.
Let's go.
Let's go one arm and leg out. I'll tell you when it's halfway and you swap to the other side. Push away from the ground with that hand that's on the floor. Keep going. Couple more. Okay, halfway, swap. Other side, other arm and leg.
Rest.
Rest. Getting ready to go up and down with no hands if you can.
Let's go.
Let's go. And out to 4-point. Back, up, out to 4-point. Up, out to 4-point. Pushing straight back if you can. And up, down, straight down. Push back, straight up.
Rest.
Okay, last bit, up into standing. Side squats and then squat reaches. Ready?
Let's go.
Let's go. Center, center. Open chest, like you're sitting on a chair behind you. Sit, stand. Keep going, 5 more seconds. Just make sure you can still hold a conversation.
Rest.
Check it out. Ready for the last bit. Just check that you can still talk. If you were in a class with me, I'd be forcing you to have a conversation with everybody or count out loud or something. Squat, reach, up on tiptoes each time, up on toes. Up on toes. Up on toes. Nearly there.
Well done.
Well done. All right, go grab a drink of water. I actually forgot to put a drink of that. But you should go and get a drink. And then when you come back, we'll do the abs set again. So back down on the floor. Okay, shoulder rolls just while we're waiting. Okay. All right, so back over onto hands and knees. The first part of the abs sequence. So we'll do 3 each way. When we engage our pelvic floor and lower tummy, take the opposite arm and leg out, bring them back, and then relax, okay? Engage the core, take the opposite arm and leg out, or just the arm if that's better. Come back. Can you feel it let go? This might be getting harder as you fatigue. Engage. Opposite arm and leg. Push away from the ground with the other hand back and let it go. Engage. Opposite arm and leg. Back. Relax. Engage. Opposite arm and leg. Back. Relax. Let's do one more. Engage pelvic floor, lower tummy. Opposite arm and leg. Back. Relax. Drop your left hip to the ground and left elbow, or come up into this position if you're able to. Arm and leg out. Right arm and right leg out. Elbow to knee. Make sure that there's a big gap under here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lovely way to use your abs muscles. 7, 8. Other side. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And coming up into kneeling. Ready? One hand lower tummy, one hand upper tummy. Engage. Lean back to your tipping point where there's no pushing out in your tummy. Come back. Can you feel the pelvic floor let go? 3 more of those. Ready? Exhale to engage. Lean back. Coming back up. Release. Engage. Lean back. Coming back up. And relax. Inhale. Exhale, scooping up, leaning back, coming back up. Can you feel everything in the lower tummy and the pelvic floor relax? Last one. Engage, lean back, coming back up, and relax. Okay, sitting cross-legged. Let's do some of those stretches we did at the beginning again. Right hand down, left one over. Just feels a bit different not doing it sitting on the ball, that's all. And the other one over. Inhale. Exhale to come back. At your own pace, an inhale to go over and an exhale to come back. Let's take the right leg out to the side as well and just do 3 or 4 where we go over with the right hand down. Reach. This really opens up that lower part of your back. And tap that left hand down and then take the left hand over. So the right hand is near that foot that's facing backwards and back up. Swivel legs. Down with the left, over with the right, and back up. Ironing out all the stiffness in your lower back. And back up. Okay. Let's finish, as we often do in bump and knee classes, with just a little bit of relaxation and breathing. So I want you just to find a comfortable sitting position. You're welcome to lie down if you'd like to. I'm going to talk through this as though you're sitting. Sometimes it's nice to put your palms facing up, close your eyes. Become aware of your breath. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through a slightly rounded mouth. Inhale through your nose. Sigh the breath out of your mouth. As you do that, just be aware that's the type of breathing that is often taught in preparation for labour classes. SOS breathing, or sigh out slowly breath. I want you to start counting how many seconds it takes to inhale. How many seconds it takes to exhale. Just be aware that the exhale should be at least as long as the inhale. So make that your challenge. If it was 5 seconds on the inhale and 4 seconds on the exhale, make it 5 and 6 seconds on the exhale. The reason that I'm talking you through that is because when we're in a stressful situation, if we're feeling pain, often what we tend to do is to tense up. And with our breathing, we tend to inhale a lot, but forget to exhale, and it can cause a distress cycle. Just being really aware of sighing out, making that exhale count, making it at least as long as the inhale. You just check in now as well as to where the breath is going. Hopefully it's going where we talked about at the beginning, not into your shoulders, but down into your belly. And as you do a few more mindful belly breaths, where you inhale and your belly expands, and you exhale and things settle back where they were. I want you to think about the areas of our body where we might hold stress if we're feeling tense. Inhale through your nose. And as you exhale, I want you to think low, soft shoulders. Do a few breaths and just on every exhale, consciously say low shoulders. Exhale any remaining tension from your shoulders. For the next few breaths, can you think long, soft fingers? And then finally, can you bring your attention to your mouth and your jaw, and your tongue? On the exhale, can you think slack jaw, heavy tongue? Okay, starting to wriggle shoulders, circling back, fingertips to the ground, ear to one shoulder, and ear to the other shoulder. And you're all done. So hopefully just reflecting on that, you can see that you did a really good pelvic floor workout. You got a good amount of a big chunk of your low impact cardio, moderate intensity cardio done for the day. You did lots of pulling, shoulder strengthening exercises. You did lots of core work. You did lots of leg work, in particular glute work in a really functional way. So you did a really good job doing that hour of putting aside that hour for you, it will be very beneficial for pregnancy and setting you up for really, really good postnatal recovery. So well done. See you next time.